This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
We got a whole lot of weather to unpack, so we'll start with this evening with windy conditions early. Winds taper off overnight into tomorrow, so things don't look too bad out there to start the morning tomorrow. But we're going to be in an extreme fire danger situation as it's going to be windy and warm, downright warm tomorrow, near record highs, in fact. Storms arrive, then rain turning to snow, especially in northern portions of the region, and sharply colder conditions coming for Saturday. Yesterday we hit 69 after a morning low of 40 degrees. Nothing in the rain gauge, and you'll notice now we've fallen over an inch below normal for the month and year, and we need some more moisture. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's show you what we've got happening first here. Lots of colors going on the maps here, too much to even get to, but we'll show you what we have. We have high wind warnings out for portions of the Sand Hills down into portions of northeastern Colorado. Those high wind warnings run for tomorrow into early Saturday morning. These pink shaded areas, those are red flag warnings or high fire danger warnings. This darker brown is some high wind watches. These areas here are a winter storm watch, Lusk down to areas north and west there of Wheatland. In this red area underneath that current alert banner, we'll zoom out a bit and see that red area that we're talking about right in here in the Dakotas into portions of Wyoming. That is a blizzard warning. Yeah, they're looking at blizzard conditions again there in those areas. So wind, high fire danger concerns here across the southern portions of the region, and also a severe weather threat, and we've got blizzard conditions off to the north. This is the drought monitor. Now, this is last week's. Keep an eye here on this part of your map. From last week's drought monitor to this week, you'll notice an expansion of a couple of things. First, an expansion of the severe drought conditions now through the rest of the southern panhandle, and then this area of extreme drought has also expanded out. So we're continuing to see a pretty decent drought condition here in the local area, most of the area now under severe drought conditions. We've got 70s across most of Nebraska, 60s and 70s in Wyoming. The colder air well off to the north of us. 70s all across our region, 70 to 77 here this evening. But unfortunately, we have this to deal with. Winds south-southeast, 30, 35, sustained. Look at some of these gusts, 40. We've had gusts to 50, 55 miles an hour today. Those gusts are going to continue for another hour, and then they will taper off. It's time to start talking about severe weather. The severe weather threat this evening, well to our southeast. It gets much closer tomorrow. You'll notice some areas as close as, say, Chadron into far eastern portions of the Panhandle. This is a slight risk of severe weather, an even higher risk from North Platte and points south into Kansas. That's where an enhanced risk of severe weather is. That shifts all east with Saturday. So we're talking about tomorrow, the possibility of high winds and large hail, most likely in these red shaded areas. That is where the enhanced, that brown red shaded area is the enhanced risk of severe weather. Here in our area, though, eastern portions of the Panhandle into the Sand Hills and back up toward Chadron and Rapid City, it's a slight risk of severe weather. Again, large hail and damaging winds going to be the primary threat with any storms. On the bus tomorrow, we're going to be in the low 50s under partly cloudy skies. Coming home, mid-80s and partly cloudy skies. So very, very mild conditions coming tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to be dealing with just a few clouds. That's about it. And then quiet weather takes over as we go into early tomorrow morning. It's going to get pretty active, though, as we go through the afternoon tomorrow. You'll notice we have highs or lows tonight. Yeah, these are lows in the 40s and 50s. Now, take a look at what happens during the day Friday. We have a brief break in the clouds. We clear out. It turns partly to mostly sunny. Then by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon off to the west, we start to see some showers and storms. They're going to get going late here tomorrow across the region. Could see some training of that. You'll notice that spin of the low pressure system that's going to set off to the east of us and slide across the area. That means on the back side of that, where we get that colder air wrapping in, that is where we're going to be dealing with some of the possibility of some snow shower activity, and that looks most likely right now in portions of northwestern Nebraska and then on up into portions of the Dakotas that we mentioned into portions of Wyoming. That is where the blizzard-like conditions are going to set up here in the region. You can tell where the warm air is. Look off to the east of us. We've got 90s on the map for Ogallala up through Mullen, 92 in Valentine, 80s for most of the rest of us, 70s in eastern Wyoming. And as far as precip goes, we actually look like we're going to get a decent amount of moisture out of this. This goes through tomorrow into early Saturday morning, doesn't take into account any of the activity for Saturday. We've got some indications of maybe up to a half an inch of rain or more in some areas. It would be very beneficial if we can get that. Snow through early Saturday morning going to be confined to the high elevations, and that's where things are going to be confined to as well. As we take a look at the European model, it shows all the activity that's going to stay in the form of snow is going to be from areas right along the northern panhandle and then heavier here in portions of the Dakotas. Very similar agreement, pretty close anyway, with the rest of our models. This is the GFS model here, and it shows, again, that heavier snow in portions of Wyoming with lighter amounts here further to the south. All in all, I think in the panhandle, the heavier precip of that snow going to be in the northern portions of the region and up around Lusk over towards Chadron. 49 tonight, mild with partly cloudy skies, windy especially early. Tomorrow, windy and warm. Some storms are possible late. They should hold off till most of the day, even into the evening hours before we get anything in here. And then sharply colder, a drop of some 40 degrees as we go into Saturday. Sunday, we're windy, about 50. Look, by next week, though, we come out of this system Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, upper 70s to near 80 degrees and not a ton of wind next week.